In 2007, the entire nation went dark, not from bombs, but from keystrokes. Banks froze, media collapsed, and NATO realized warfare had entered a new frontier. Today, leaders warn that Russia's silent digital offensive is already underway, reshaping the battlefield before the first shot is fired. The new battleground, from tanks to keyboards. Modern warfare has shifted from open fields and armored tanks to digital networks and encrypted channels. Nations no longer only measure strength in military hardware. Control of information systems, communication networks, and cyber infrastructure defines power. In this era, a single malware attack can halt a city's operations, disrupt economies, or leak sensitive intelligence. Countries are investing heavily in cyber command units, training specialists who operate in shadows. The battlefield is now invisible, stretching across servers, satellites, and fiber optic cables. Soldiers may never see their enemies, yet the consequences of their strikes are tangible. Cyber skirmishes are fast, persistent, and often untraceable, creating a constant state of tension that makes defense and attribution exceptionally challenging. NATO's warning: digital conflict has already begun. NATO officials have repeatedly warned that cyber attacks are no longer theoretical. They are active instruments of modern conflict. Networks controlling energy grids, military communications, and civilian infrastructure are under constant scrutiny and threat. NATO emphasizes that Russia, among other actors, is conducting operations that undermine stability across Europe. These are not isolated hacks. They are part of a coordinated strategy blending espionage, sabotage, and disinformation. NATO's statements stress the importance of preemptive cybersecurity measures and real-time monitoring to protect member states. Public disclosures often lag behind reality, making much of the conflict invisible to civilians. Analysts describe this era as a persistent, low-intensity digital confrontation, where victories and losses are measured in stolen data, delayed operations, and compromised systems rather than destroyed cities. Cyber espionage, Russia's shadow operations in Europe. Russian cyber operations are designed to collect intelligence silently while leaving minimal traces. Techniques include phishing campaigns, malware infiltration, and network penetration, often targeting government agencies, defense contractors, and research institutions. Unlike traditional espionage, these attacks exploit vulnerabilities in digital infrastructure, allowing hackers to extract sensitive information without setting off alarms. Some operations have reportedly influenced policy decisions and negotiations, revealing critical plans to adversaries. Attribution is difficult, as operations are frequently routed through multiple countries and anonymized networks. The intent is strategic advantage. Knowledge of troop movements, energy supply logistics, and technological breakthroughs. Cyber espionage has become a force multiplier, enabling a small team of hackers to achieve outcomes comparable to large-scale intelligence operations, all conducted in the shadows of conventional diplomacy. Disinformation warfare, manipulating minds, not just machines. Information itself has become a weapon of war, used to destabilize societies and shape public opinion. Disinformation campaigns exploit social media, forums, and news outlets to spread false narratives that erode trust in governments and institutions. Russian operations have reportedly targeted elections, social movements, and public discourse, creating confusion and polarization. Unlike traditional attacks, the damage is intangible but long-lasting. Populations make decisions based on manipulated perceptions, and alliances can weaken from internal distrust. Techniques include fake personas, viral content, and algorithm exploitation, making campaigns scalable and highly adaptive. NATO analysts warn that disinformation blurs the line between military and civilian targets, forcing nations to defend not only physical borders, but also the integrity of public consciousness itself. Attacks on critical infrastructure, power grids, pipelines, and beyond. Cyber attacks on critical infrastructure have emerged as a potent tactic, threatening the essential services that sustain society. Power grids, Water treatment plants, pipelines, and transportation networks are increasingly connected to digital systems, creating vulnerabilities that adversaries can exploit. Russian-linked operations have been implicated in grid disruptions, ransomware attacks, and operational sabotage, often designed to test defensive capabilities or send strategic messages. Such attacks can have cascading effects. Energy blackouts impact hospitals, communication networks, and supply chains. The covert nature of these strikes complicates detection, making response slower and recovery more costly. Nations are now investing in resilient infrastructure, backup systems, and real-time monitoring, recognizing that safeguarding digital control systems is as critical as maintaining physical defenses on traditional battlefields. The hybrid war strategy, blurring cyber and conventional tactics. Hybrid warfare integrates cyber, political, and conventional military operations into a seamless strategy. Russia's campaigns demonstrate how digital attacks, propaganda, economic pressure, and troop movements can be orchestrated to achieve objectives without triggering full-scale conflict. For example, a cyber intrusion may disable defenses or communications, enabling a small conventional force to exploit vulnerabilities. This method exploits ambiguity, making it difficult to determine when an attack constitutes war. Hybrid tactics also allow nations to apply psychological pressure, influence elections, and destabilize governments indirectly. NATO officials emphasize the importance of recognizing these intertwined threats, developing response frameworks that combine cyber defense, intelligence sharing, and rapid deployment. The strategy challenges traditional concepts of deterrence and warfare, forcing countries to rethink security in a constantly evolving digital and political landscape. Case study: the 2007 Estonia cyber assault. In 2007, Estonia faced one of the first large-scale nationwide cyber attacks, disrupting banks, government portals, and media outlets. Triggered by a political dispute over a monument, the assault demonstrated how digital tools can cripple essential systems without a single soldier crossing a border. Distributed denial of service, also known as DDoS, attacks overwhelmed servers, causing outages that paralyzed communication and financial transactions. Analysts noted the attackers exploited vulnerabilities in network architecture and public services, highlighting the need for robust cybersecurity policies. NATO observed this event closely, understanding that modern conflict extends beyond physical borders. Estonia's rapid recovery showcased cyber resilience, including emergency protocols, information sharing, and public-private coordination. The assault marked a turning point, prompting countries worldwide to recognize that digital infrastructure is a front line in contemporary warfare. Case study: NotPetya and the global fallout. In 2017, the NotPetya malware outbreak demonstrated the global reach and destructive potential of cyberattacks. Initially targeting Ukrainian infrastructure, it quickly spread to multinational corporations, disrupting supply chains, transportation, and finance. NotPetya was not ransomware in the traditional sense. It acted as a digital weapon designed to destroy data, causing billions in economic losses. Analysts traced its origin to sophisticated state-linked operations, emphasizing that cyber tools could exceed national borders and impact civilian economies. The attack forced corporations to reconsider network segmentation, backup protocols, and incident response strategies. For NATO, the event underscored that cyber warfare could produce tangible global consequences, blurring lines between military objectives and civilian casualties, and highlighting the urgent need for international collaboration in digital defense. How NATO is building its Cyber Defense Command. NATO has established the Cyber Defense Command to coordinate protection of digital infrastructure across member states. This initiative combines intelligence gathering, threat analysis, and rapid response capabilities to address cyber attacks targeting both military and civilian networks. The command emphasizes collaboration between governments, defense agencies, and private sector partners, ensuring real-time information sharing. It conducts simulated exercises, vulnerability assessments, and joint operations planning to prepare for emerging threats. By integrating cyber expertise with traditional military command structures, NATO aims to create a multi-layered defense network capable of detecting, deterring, and responding to intrusions. Analysts highlight that the command not only safeguards assets, but also strengthens deterrence, signaling that aggressive cyber actions against member states will face coordinated retaliation. Analysts highlight that deterrence is psychological as much as technical, showing readiness can prevent attacks before they occur. Yet the unseen battlefield is fluid, evolving with each technological advance. The question remains whether conventional defense structures can fully adapt to a war fought in cyberspace, mines, and data streams, rather than on traditional front lines. In the invisible war of bytes and firewalls, the line between peace and conflict is disappearing. NATO braces, nations defend, yet much remains hidden. The question isn't if the next attack will come, it's when. Subscribe to uncover the secrets behind modern warfare and stay ahead of the unseen threats.